Today, we're diving into a really simple but honestly world-changing idea from David Schwartz's classic book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And it all boils down to this: the size of your success is directly determined by the size of your thinking. It's a huge claim, right? So let's really unpack what that means.
So what is it? What truly separates the people who achieve these incredible dreams from, well, everyone else? Is it just raw talent, some kind of luck, maybe the right background? Schwarz argues it's none of that. The real game changer is something way more fundamental, and here's the best part, it's completely within our control.
You can almost see it as two different paths you can walk down. Over on the left, you've got small thinking. It's paved with these tiny, safe actions and that constant little voice whispering, "I'm not ready yet." It keeps you comfy for sure, but the destination is always the same: limited results. But then there's the path on the right. That's big thinking. It demands bold action. It changes the question from "I can't" to "How can I make this work?" And it pushes you into brand new territory, completely expanding what's possible in your life.
Now, this is where things get really interesting, because this idea flips a common saying completely on its head. We usually think, okay, once I see some success, then I'll believe it myself. But Schwartz says, no, that's totally backward. The truth is, success is the result of believing in the first place. Your belief is the cause. Success is just the effect.
So if belief has to come first, then the biggest thing standing in our way is what Schwartz calls the belief barrier. This is the idea that our own internal thoughts literally build the boundaries of our external world.
What a powerful way to put it, right? Just imagine living inside walls that you can't even see. They're not made of brick or stone. They're built out of thoughts like, "I'm just not good enough for that," or "That's not realistic for someone like me." Thinking big isn't about ignoring reality. It's about having the guts to start tearing down these walls that we built ourselves.
Okay, so how do you even begin to tear down those walls? Well, you start by taking on the single biggest dream killer out there: the habit of making excuses. Schwartz actually gives this nasty little habit a very clinical-sounding name.
He calls it Excuseitis. He describes it as a full-blown mental disease, which is a brilliant way to think about it. See, these aren't just harmless little justifications we make. They're like infections in our mind that paralyze our potential, and their only job is to keep us safe from the discomfort of actually trying something.
And here are its most common strains. They attack our health, our age, our intelligence, and even how we see luck. Do any of these sound a little familiar? "Oh, I'm too old to start a new career," or "I'm just not smart enough to do that." These aren't reasons. They're symptoms of Excuseitis, and recognizing your specific symptom is the very first step toward finding the cure. So the next time one of those excuses pops into your head, you need a weapon to fight back. And it's this simple but incredibly powerful question. Just ask yourself, is this thought a cold hard fact, or is it just my fear wearing a really convincing disguise? I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, it's fear. All right, so if fear is the disease, what's the cure? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, and it's our next huge principle. Action cures fear. This is the prescription for Excuseitis, right here. You don't think your way out of fear. You don't wait around for it to magically disappear. You have to act your way through it. Because the longer you hesitate, the bigger that fear monster gets in your mind. Action starves it of its power. And this gets right to the heart of why action is so powerful. We have this idea that confidence is something you're either born with or you're not. Schwartz says that's completely wrong. Confidence isn't a personality trait. It's a result. It's like a wall that you build one brick at a time with every single action you take, especially the actions that scare you. And here's exactly how that confidence gets built. It's a beautiful cycle. Step 1. You just take one small step. You act, especially when you don't feel ready. Step 2. You gather evidence. That tiny action becomes real-world proof that you can do it. Step 3. You build confidence. Think of every action as the deposit into your confidence bank. And step 4. The fear fades. As that confidence account grows, your fear naturally shrinks because real experience is replacing all that imagined uncertainty.
Okay, so we get the mindset. Now let's get practical. It's time to open up the Big Thinking Toolkit and grab the mental tools you can start using every single day.
Let's look at 4 must-have tools. First, you have to guard your attitude like a fortress. It's the lens that colors your entire world. Second, set goals that actually stretch you. A good rule of thumb, if your goal doesn't make you at least a little nervous, it's not big enough.
Third, train your brain to ask, okay, how can this be done? Instead of just shutting down with, it can't be done. And finally, visualize success. I mean, really see it, feel it, make it so vivid that your mind starts to believe it's already happened.
Let's zoom in on that first tool for a second, attitude. It's all about the power of the reframe. This is too hard becomes, okay, this is a chance for me to grow. I failed becomes, awesome, I just learned what doesn't work. And maybe the most important one, you have to trade the passive, wishy-washy I hope for the active, powerful commitment of I will. They might seem like small word changes, but they fundamentally shift the energy you bring to everything you do.
So far, we've been focused mostly on our own internal world. But the real magic, the true magic of thinking big, happens when you start applying it to other people. This is not a solo mission. To make a massive impact, you have to learn how to lead with vision.
You see, big thinking leadership is about multiplication, not just addition. It's not just about adding to your own pile of success. It's about multiplying the potential you see in other people, helping them see the greatness they have inside themselves, and then helping them grow it.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, big thinking leaders listen way more than they talk. They give credit away like it's free. They're always looking to collaborate, not compete. They show genuine, real appreciation. And they make it a personal rule to only speak positively about others. And why does this work? Because it creates an environment where everyone else feels safe enough to start thinking big too.
We have covered a lot of ground here, but listen, none of this matters if it's just a one-time aha moment. The final, crucial step is to turn all of this into a daily, automatic habit.
And it all comes together in this really simple daily routine. It starts the second you wake up. Deliberately feed your mind something positive. As you go through your day, be super intentional about who you surround yourself with. Find other big thinkers, because that energy is contagious. And as you're out in the world, act the part. Carry yourself like the person you are committed to becoming. Then at night, just take 5 minutes to reflect. What went well? What did I learn? This simple loop ensures you're always growing, always learning.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. Everything we've talked about today boils down to a single choice that you get to make, moment by moment. Your thoughts are literally the blueprints for your life. They build your reality brick by brick. So the only question left is, what kind of world are you going to create?